Hello everyone. In this video we're going to learn what is an R language, and we will talk a little bit about the history of R language, and we're going to know who are the developers behind the R language, and at the end I'm going to discuss with you that why you should learn R language. Let's start. First of all, R language is a statistical programming language, which means it's mainly used in a statistical field. So if you are a person who deals with data, lots of data, and you're using statistics to derive the information from that data, you're going to end up learning or using R. So in short, R is a statistical programming language which are used in statistical computing so we can derive information from the data and draw some graphs. Now, history of R language. In 1976, there was a programming language called S, and it was actually developed by John Chambers at Bell Laboratories. And actually, R is one of the implementation of this S programming language. And those people who developed R language are Ross Lahaka and Robert Gentleman, and these are their pictures. You don't have to know all this information. I'm just giving you to as a little bit history about the R language. Now, we should know that why you should learn R language. Now, basically, this course is entitled R in Data Science, which means I'm going to explain the fundamentals of R, but in the field of data analysis and data science. So, first of all, it's a free programming language. You don't have to pay anything, and it's an open source, which means if you become an expert developer, you can actually contribute to the community. And here we are, the second option. They have a large community of users. Every month there is a new package was developed by the developers and modification, so it's an active community. So there will be always updates, and people are growing in that community, and they're adding stuff and fixing stuff. So it's like an active community. So whenever you learn something, make sure that there are active people are actually adding to that field. And we have here latest cutting edge technology, which means R is mainly used in statistics, but lately it's being used in data science and machine learning and deep learning. So deep learning and machine learning, these are in general AI, are cutting edge technology, so are actually used in this field. Gateway to lucrative career. I mean, lucrative career means in AI, machine learning, deep learning, data engineering, statistician. So these type of lucrative careers are gonna help you a lot. One of the things that I like about R that they have a robust visualization library. They have very beautiful visualization library. As you know, as a data analyst or data scientist, most of your job will be deriving information and drawing charts and graphs from that data. R actually has a very beautiful packages to draw those graphs. Mainly R, as I said, it's a statistical language, and it's used heavily in data science and data analysis field. And R is used almost in every industry, because if you're dealing with data, I mean, usually we are always dealing with data. So if you are an academic person, or a researcher, or data analyst, data scientist, Six Sigma practitioners, anyone who uses data so you can derive information from it, you're gonna end up using and learning R. So let me tell you something about from my perspective view. As you know that I have a master's in data science. So when I was doing my thesis, my professor told me to use R. I did use R, but then I switched to Python because I was doing deep learning. But now, I mean, I did it like 2019, but now R is doing fine in deep learning. So most of the researcher that I was working with when I was doing my master's degree, those people were using R. So you will see that most of the academic people and who are working in the research field, they're actually using R. You will find someone who's also using Python, but most of them will be using R. Why? Because there used to be a software. I mean, there is still a software called SPSS from IBM, and it's a very famous software. It's a statistical software. But R is like Excel on steroids. R, you can literally do anything you want in R. So SPSS is a very good software, but in matter of visualization, it's a bit boring. So R gives you amazing visualization libraries. So what I found that most of the researchers, they know SPSS and they know R. Most of the data scientists and data analysts, if you check on LinkedIn, they're gonna ask you to know R and Python. It used to be Python or R, but now they're asking to know both. So if you are looking to become a data scientist or data analyst or academic person or Six Sigma practitioner in total quality management, I would highly recommend you start learning R. And after I learned Python and I did my master's, I enrolled in a bootcamp, and that bootcamp was teaching R. So you wanna become a Six Sigma practitioner? They usually use software called Minitab, which is almost the same as SPSS, but again, I've started to see that some people are actually using R. When I asked them, they said R does everything. And Minitab, I mean, like, R is free. Minitab and SPSS is paid. I don't know about Minitab actually, but one of the best thing about R that it's free and it has a lot of packages. Now, R are actually used in biology, genetics, and basically any field that deals with data. I know people who are using on biostatistics are using R. So it will help you make decision with data. R is going to help you make decision with data because you'll be using it to analyzing the data. And as I said, it has robust visualization library. Highly paid jobs, I mean by data scientists and data analysts and and statistician in general. Now, if you are a master's student or PhD student, and you are actually, I mean, if you are a master's student or PhD student, most of the time you're gonna end up into the academic world, especially if you are doing PhD. Rarely people who take PhD, they go to the consultation and work in companies. Yeah, COMP, companies. Too lazy to write the whole word. So if you're gonna go into the academic world, you are like, it's a must for you to learn R. If you want to go to the companies, work as a worker, and you want to become data scientist and data analyst, at the beginning, if you're starting and if you're a beginner, I would recommend you choose only one language, either R or Python. Don't start with both. Both of them are free, both of them are open source, and both of them are used heavily in data science and data analysis, and both of them are easy. Yes, it's easy. If you compare them to Java and C and whatever the other languages you have there, R and Python, they are easy to learn. So if you are a complete beginner, you're just starting out in the field of data scientists and data analysts, or even in an academic world, I would highly recommend you only choose either R or Python. Once you all know almost, like, you master it, not master it, but like you conducted a lot of projects in Python, you can switch to R. This is what I did after working for 4 years in Python, doing a lot of research papers and projects and boot camps, and my thesis. I did my thesis in Python. I then enrolled into a bootcamp where they were teaching R in details, and after that bootcamp, I started doing this course. So I learned Python. I did a lot of projects. Once I almost mastered Python in the field of data science, I started learning R. And as I said, now if you go to the LinkedIn and check most of the job description in data science and data analyst field, they will ask you to know both R and Python. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.